Hey there, this is Al, the doo-wopper. All right, that's good to be with you this afternoon. What we're going to be talking about today, we'll be talking about a unique gentleman, a singer, and a great singer. At the time, he was very unique. He was one of a kind. And you might even guess who he is. His name is Sam Cooke. I know you heard of Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke was again gospel singer. He made great in the gospel world, and he turns around. He done great in the pop world, and it's very rare that you see this or even an individual that went from one to another. But years ago, back in those days, that you didn't do this. You did not go from gospel to pop or rock and roll. You didn't do it. It was like taboo. But guess what? Sam Cooke broke that mold. So he did it. So I'll tell you now, that's all of this is what make him unique. So let me just tell you a little about Sam. Sam was born in 1931 in Clarksdale, Mississippi, and he was brought up in a Baptist church. Seems like all of our rock and roll and doo-wop people and artists, they seem like they come from the church. Well, there was no exception at all with Sam Cooke because he came from a Baptist church. And in fact, his father was a minister in the Baptist church, so he was and was a Baptist, and he right then his mother played the piano for the father who was the minister of that church. And to get back to Sam, Sam had started singing in that church when he was age 4. Not just age 4. And so his father got together with the siblings and put them together, started a little group in the church. And so Sam, even back that day, was the lead singer, even in the little sibling group they had going on in the church. So this will just give you some idea of the talent that Sam had even back at age 4. So when Sam kept going, up to a point from one church to the other, and he became very popular even at the early ages when he became a teenager. So, but at the time when during his teenage years, his father moved from Mississippi to Chicago because even I guess back in those days, I don't know about Mississippi. I was born in North Carolina, so I can't say. But if it was like even the churches back in those days in the 50s, that it was just a hard life back in those days. So I can't say Mississippi, but I know North Carolina. But anyway, they moved to Chicago. When they moved to Chicago, that is when Sam, then it's up, him, believe it or not, Lou Rawls was in a gospel group, and they were a rival group because of at the time um, that Sam Cooke started a gospel group, which was called the Highway QCs. And so I don't remember who Lou Rawls' gospel group were, but anyway, they were kind of like rivals because both of them. Lou Rawls was a handsome guy and he had a nice voice also. Because we're gonna talk about him sooner or later. But in the meantime, Sam. But so Sam, at the time, they were going from one church all over different places and whatnot. And they were singing, and Sam, with his voice, everything, and the Gladiators just loved him. So, man, and it just made him popular. So Sam, right then, at the time, the Soul Stirrers spotted him singing. Harris was the lead singer at the time of the Soul Stirrers, and he was stepping down. And so when they heard Sam, they took him on just like that. And Sam just took the Soul Stirrers to another level. And I know you remember the song they made so famous was The Hem of the Garment that Sam sang as a lead on it. And it kept the Soul Stirrers steady going forward. And then Sam decided, said, he'd come to a crossroad. Sam was a religious person, and he'd come in the Baptist church. But he was crossroads of going to the pop song or staying in the gospel. So he was at a crossroads. But then he just decided he was going to go into the pop and the rock and roll. And that's when Sam wrote the song and sung the song, You Send Me. Darling, you send me. I know you know it. And it just made him bow to the top. But see, Sam still had a problem because Sam was still church, and in his mind, he gospel, and it just didn't mix in too well with him. So he went to his father, and his father told him and blessed him. He said, Sam, God had gave you the talent to sing and make people feel good and tell them about love, and God is about love. So Sam felt better about himself. That's when Sam started singing all other songs that he was singing. Chain Gang, for example, he made a big hit. And the reason why he made that song, the history, I'm going to give you the history on that later. I can't do it this afternoon, but I'm going to give it to you later. That Sam, when was driving, him and his brother was driving, and he saw the men working on doing the cleaning up the ditches and whatnot. And they was hammering out there, and they was singing, they was just working. And they came up with a song, and they wrote the song, Chain Gang. And Chain Gang went, pow, straight to the top. And then, after then, it wasn't no limit to him. Then he turns around, he wrote the song, A Change Is Gonna Come. Oh my goodness, I know you know about that. You know when the song was out of sight. That was during the civil rights movement that Sam wrote those songs and whatnot, and they went, sky high. And Sam right then was he was at the best. And then Sam was not only a good writer and producer, Sam was an entrepreneur. Right then, he started his own label, his own label. Right now, if Sam hadn't died and had lived, he would have been before Motown, because right then he was setting up his own. But unfortunately, it didn't end too well. Anyway, he ended up getting killed, and I know you heard about that. And it's all been questioned about that when they claimed that he picked up this prostitute and took her to this motel, a cheap motel, and anyway, the way it was said that they got an argument in the room and all of this, and so anyway, she got up, she grabbed the clothes, and she ran out the building. So Sam was run after her, and she went out the building, and he went down to the manager's office and asked her, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? But anyway, the manager got frightened and scared, and the way we understand it, that she shot him and killed him. So Sam's life ended there at 33 years old. A beautiful voice, talent, everything stopped that night. And there's another little small story I'll tell you right quick that just didn't make sense to me. And a lot of people is Bobby Womack had an affair with Sam Cooke's wife, because that was, he went up to the room after and went up and tried to soothe her at the time of the death. But remember, they was married in 3 months. Huh. What do you think? I don't know. But that's only what I just read about. So, but this is a little life of Sam Cooke. And so I'm going to be talking to you more about Sam and a lot more about a lot of these people that I don't have the time to just but so much about. But I will be bringing it back to you. It's so much more about Sam that I would like to tell you. But, there's a certain amount of time I have. So, God bless you and take care and subscribe. And so I keep talking to you and have a good night.